Well, hello, fabulous book lovers. I am so incredibly excited because we are back for another mermaid interview for Mer Week. We are celebrating the release of the box set omnibus of the Siren Wars Saga, Selena's first trilogy within the series. And I am so excited because not only do we have all three of the first books in the Siren Wars Saga, but we also have a prequel novella from everyone's favorite brooding merman. And I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on a copy of it. It comes out this Tuesday, and every single day between now and release, we are interviewing one or more mermaids every single day live on air. And today we have a dear friend of mine. I'm incredibly excited. We're hanging out with Mist the Mermaid. So how you doing today?
Hi, everybody. Everything's going swimmingly, aside from that mic check.
Our mic check did not work. So if you are joining us, we did go live just a few minutes late because we were having some technical issues, but we are back and we're super excited. If you are joining us live, we want to hear from you. Jump down to those comments, drop your questions, and let us know what you want to know from Miss the Mermaid as she's hanging out with her tails, here to answer our questions today. And if you are on our rebroadcast, we want to hear from you too. If you come up with a really great question that we do not get answered on air, I might just be able to drag her back on air to answer for you later on. So if you are here joining us live, we appreciate you. Rebecca, thanks for the heart eye emoji. We appreciate you being here. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments what you want to know most. So tell me, how long have you actually been a mermaid?
So, I mean, I've always felt like I should be a mermaid ever since I was a little kid, but I've only actually been in the hobby for about 2 years. So, I was very lucky in this year. I work for an entertainment company that does princess parties and superhero parties, and we do venues all across Long Island, the tri state area. And we have this incredible partnership with the Long Island Aquarium. So I've been a professional mermaid performer starting this year, actually. It's all so much fun and so new, and I'm learning so much every single day that I do this.
And I'm such a fan of following you on social media. You and I actually had the opportunity to meet in person, and we've been hanging out on social media ever since. And you
Yeah.
got the most fun pictures from this aquarium. So tell me all about what happened when you showed up at this aquarium, because this was like a weekly thing, right?
Yeah. So, Spoonful of Sugar Entertainment partnered with the Long Island Aquarium for this really fun event called Mermaid Mondays. And the aquarium has this huge, huge saltwater tank called the Pirate Snorkel Adventure, in which guests can snorkel and explore in this ruins of Atlantis pirate shipwreck type exhibit. And it's full of live fish. There's about 19 species of tropical fish, including stingrays and bamboo sharks. So on Mondays, you can also swim with a mermaid too. So we did it every Monday from the first week of July to Labor Day in September, and it was such a cool, like really incredible experience, a once in a lifetime chance, I think. So we had people of all ages, not just kids. We had grandparents coming in there and swimming with us and having just a ball. Oh, the sound cut out. Ah, did the sound cut out? Oh, is that not working? Hmm. Nope. Oh, it's echoing. That's weird. Hang on. Uh oh. Oh no, I can't hear anything. Sorry about that. No, I can't hear anything. I don't know how. Hmm. It won't let me refresh. Can you hear me now? No, it's just echoing. Nope. Hang on. That didn't do anything?
All right, if you can hear me, let me know down in those comments below. I am working off my earbuds right now, and we have been having a little bit of tech problems along the way because unfortunately, Facebook is doing something really cool on their end. And when that happens, that usually results in some issues for us. Hey, Mist, welcome back.
Hi, did that work?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Beautiful. All
Sorry.
right. Apologies, guys. Facebook is working on something really cool behind the scenes. And when that happens, sometimes we get tech glitches. So here we are making the most of our mermaid interviews. We apologize for this and we're glad that you're here.
So
Let us
sorry about
know.
that.
Do
Underwater
you have questions?
shell service underwater is really, really bad. Sorry about that.
I like it. I do like that. All right. Everybody is saying we're back. Beautiful. We are
good.
so glad that you can all see us and hear us. I am going to be working with my earbud in and out because I can hear myself and it's a little hard to figure out what to say when I'm listening to myself speak. So I apologize for the strangeness, but I'm glad that you're all here hanging out. And if you have questions for Mist, down in those comments below, we're going to get those answered for you. We've got some giveaways. We've got some prizes. We even have some games for you to be playing today. So the more you comment, well, the more likely you might be to win some of those giveaways. So let us know, what do you want to know most from Mist as we talk all about her time as a professional mermaid? So Mist, I need to know, how many tails do you have?
Oh boy. You know, I should have counted them before I got here today, and I didn't. I want to say maybe 9 or 10.
That's amazing. And I know that you actually have quite a few because you do a little something special within your brand. You're actually the ambassador for Fin Fun Mermaids, and that's how we met.
That's right, yeah. I am the Northeast ambassador for the 18 plus division.
Which is so exciting. We actually had the opportunity to meet in New Jersey. We went to one of their pool parties together, and we ended up at the same rock taking pictures at the same time, and
Yeah.
we may or may not have ended up in a promo video together.
Yes, we did. You know, it's so funny. We were trying, my sister, Mermaid Kalos, and I are trying to get up on this rock. And then there you were with your friend, and we shimmied up the rock together. And Fin Fun's like, wait, we have to take pictures of this.
It was pretty entertaining, and I definitely was not prepared to climb up on that rock and then handle all the tail stuff. And oh, goodness, so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So, as an ambassador, kind of tell us a little bit what you do for Fin Fun.
Sure. A little bit about what we do is that we receive product surveys about different products that they've made in the past or would like to design and review. So we get to see a lot of the behind the scenes creation of different projects. I can't show anybody anything, but I mean, they send us pictures of like rash guards or new legging designs, sometimes cover ups or apparel. They even showed us the mermaid Halloween costume before they came out. So it's a lot of fun getting to see what goes into the making of the brand. And since there are so many ambassadors ranging from like age 6 to, I think Colleen the Essential Siren is in her mid 30s, there's such a huge age range of ambassadors to reflect the huge age range of people that want to be merfolk too. It's a lot of fun. It's really collaborative.
It really is a lot of fun, and I just get to see just a tiny bit of the surface of everything that you guys are doing over there. So I absolutely love checking that out. And if you guys are a fan of Fin Fun Mermaids, they're actually going to be participating in our Sunday episode where we are doing our Shell Crown Craft broadcast. We're going to be teaching you step by step while we are live on air how to make a seashell crown for under $5. It's amazing. We've got some special guests. We're going to have lots of fun. And Fin Fun may or may not have given us a little something that we can give away to you if you're interested in your own tail. So make sure you come hang out with us on Sunday for our Seashell Craft Day as well. All right, so we've got some questions in the comments. Alyssa is here and she says, oh, that's a blast. Kevin is sending us lots of hearts. And we've got a question. Being a mermaid probably contains lots of training. What does your mermaid training workout look like?
Sure. We do a lot of training in my own pool. Since I'm lucky enough to live in a house that has a pool, we often invite the spoonful performers to swim. We do laps back and forth. We do breath hold training. We do like acrobatics underwater and figuring out how to hold poses. We spent a lot of time in all of our trainings, and I even got to lead one of just working in the monofin, not even with the tail skinner or the crazy like big tails that we perform in either. So it's very much focusing on your core, focusing on the dolphin kick and like the kind of motion you're creating. The most important thing about mermaid swimming is that you're doing it safely. So we're never alone. There's never like fewer than two of us training at a time either. So it's a lot of swimming back and forth. It's a lot of messing up poses and looking silly underwater, and it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And I love that. And you're really very correct in saying it's all about safety. I know you recently did a live broadcast where you were chatting all about how to safely train as a mermaid. So, pro tip, guys, if you want tips along the lines of how to do this safely, make sure you're following Mist on social media because she actually educates on this, which is kind of amazing because a lot of mermaids don't educate on this publicly. So, we do appreciate you sharing that with all of our fans as well.
It's really important to me because I used to be a lifeguard when I was a teenager. So it's really important that people know that you're swim ready before you even try to swim in a mermaid tail. I mean, I've seen parents throw their kids in the water without a life jacket, like not even within a tail, but some of these kids need to develop the skills to swim like a human before they try swimming like a mermaid or a merman. So because I work so closely with children, that's the really most important thing I can think of is that if you're safe, you're having fun. And FinFun is really great about keeping the safety up with every tail. Like this one, they send you a safety guide for how to safely swim in the monofin, how to get yourself out of the tail just in case there's an emergency. So if you're not one to read instructions, read the instructions.
That's a very good point because a lot of people just toss those instructions inside, and that is not good. So, guys, read the directions.
Or if you don't like reading directions per se, FinFun has a whole lot of safety tutorials on their channel. Of like, FinFun Mermaid, I'm an ambassador. I guess I'm doing my job.
You are. But they do have a great YouTube channel with lots of training tutorials over there. So if you're not one for reading those directions, check out the videos.
Definitely.
Kevin wants to know, is fitness and proper diet also important for mermaid safety?
Definitely. I mean, during the summer, especially with the tough hours you have in the aquarium, you always need to make sure that you're eating properly. We always used to have bananas for a snack because they're a good source of potassium. And when you're in the water for that long, constantly performing, constantly on, you need that kind of energy just to sustain yourself. My first Mermaid Monday, I got so dehydrated to the point where I had heat exhaustion, and it was the most miserable I've ever felt.
Oh
So
gosh.
after that, it was 98 degrees all day. The tank is out in the sun, and I didn't drink enough, and I was drinking in too much salt water. So what they say about sailors getting seasick, like, yeah, that's what it is. But I'm also a dancer, so I always make sure that I'm moving and stretching. Stretching is really, really important, especially if you want to avoid cramps, because cramps will get you. So always stretch, always stretch. I try to dance as much as I can to keep myself in shape. I don't run. I'm not a runner. I've never been a runner, but I know that's really helpful for a lot of people. And yoga is great for flexibility and strength building too.
Yes. We were actually talking to Mermaid Morgana yesterday, and she was talking about how she uses her yoga mat to kind of transport some of her tails. Or actually, was that Morgana or was that Tasha? I had two mermaids yesterday, guys. I do not know who said that. Watch the interviews and find out.
I caught Mermaid Tasha's interview. I think she mentioned it, but I'm not
okay.
Sure.
Well, there we go. Mermaid Tasha. As soon as I said Morgana, I'm like, I don't think we discussed that. No, that was Mermaid Tasha. Mermaid Tasha will also be joining us later this week for the book launch party of the Siren Wars Saga first trilogy. So make sure you check that out as well. She's bringing some seashells. English is hard. Seashells. I've never had problems with that word before. Seashells. She's bringing them to show us. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be lots of fun. Okay, so switching gears just a little bit, we want to talk about your time as a mermaid, and I just need to know, because this is one of the most fascinating things that I can think of when it comes to talking to mermaids. How long can you hold your breath?
For pictures, I can hold my breath up to about a minute and a half. I'm not a trained freediver, and I would very much like to become a trained freediver, so I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you have the practice. So for pictures, I can stay down for pretty long. but I'm really, really buoyant, so I float a lot. So in the aquarium posing for pictures, there were always things to anchor myself with. Like almost every picture, I'm holding onto a treasure chest or a piece of coral that's in the bottom of the tank. Not real coral, fake coral. Otherwise, I wouldn't be touching it. But those things really helped keep me down. I didn't wear a weight belt, if only because children would pile on top of me. And a weight belt is great if you're doing pictures, but while you're performing and there's the possibility of a child jumping on your back, not so great an idea.
Not the best, no. And I imagine that must have been really interesting to kind of work in the tank with the possibility of children or people coming up to you and touching your tail or riding on your back.
Yeah. I usually let kids touch my tail. I have a mythic tail for performance, so it's a partial silicone tail with the resin scales, and kids love to feel it. What I didn't appreciate so much is them kicking me in the head. That happened a few times.
Gosh.
They didn't mean it per se.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're performing and you're underwater, you have to be super hyper vigilant, and even if you're super hyper vigilant, a lot of the times the kids are not. So accidents happen. But that's why we always had a mertender with us, following us along throughout the length of the tank, just in case something should have gone wrong.
And that goes back to safety, guys. Very important. Now, speaking of working in the tank, you know, I have to ask. Which was your favorite animal to swim with?
Oh, the cow-nose rays. I love them. They're so cute and so cuddly, and they give really good hugs when they swim over your tail.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
I did love the bamboo sharks too, though. They're very sweet. They're shy at first, but they end up liking getting head all the way down to their tail. So there was one, a little white one. She did not like being petted at all. So we just let Sandy be. But the other ones, they loved getting pet. So that was really fun.
That's adorable. Now, I don't know much about bamboo sharks. How long do they end up being?
I think the biggest one that we had was maybe 3.5 feet long.
Okay.
The kids are scared or terrified. As soon as the lifeguard says sharks, they're like, the bamboo sharks don't have bitey teeth per se. They have something called grinding plates where they kind of just mash the shrimp and the shellfish. So even if they wanted to bite you, they really couldn't.
That's amazing. I know Alyssa is here hanging out with us, and she is not the biggest fan of sharks in the entire world, so that's probably a good shark for her to hang out with. I'm just saying, Alyssa. Just saying. She actually lives up north where they have all those great whites right now, so.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard lots of fun stories.
In Montauk this summer, the great whites like to come stay out there on the island.
Let's see. We've got more questions here. What is the best memory that you've made as a mermaid?
So the best memory I've made as a mermaid happened at the aquarium this summer. There was a boy. His name was Tristan. He was about 13 or 14. And at first he's like, oh, that's a finfolk tail. And I panicked. Because normally people they don't identify where mermaid tail makers are from. But he got in the tank and he told me everything about how he wanted to be a mermaid. And he used the word mermaid specifically when he grew up. He makes his own tails. He has a bunch of fin fun tails of his own. He was telling me all about his merman backstory. And he just really got into the magic of it. And swimming with kids and performing for kids is why I do my job as a performer. Making those memories for them makes me the happiest clam under the sea, I guess. But meeting someone who is so remarkable and so imaginative at an age where it's not really cool to be imaginative anymore, like, I cannot ever get that memory out of my head. And just to hear how much of an impact that left on him has left an even bigger impact on my heart. I do this for them, and he made a magical memory for me.
That's amazing. I love kids, and I love when they actually kind of step out of what we expect them to do, and they get to do all these magical things for us too. So that's incredibly fun. And as somebody who works with kids, you know, I love my kids' stories. So that's just amazing. I love that. Alyssa is in the comments. She's saying all that is sweet, and it is sweet. I'm sure she's actually here watching with her daughter right now. So Hello to all of you. Guys, if you are joining us live, we want to hear from you. Jump into those comments and let us know what your questions are for Mist. Do you have questions about being a mermaid performer? Do you have questions about tails? Do you have questions about mermaid safety? We are here to get those answers for you today. So jump in those comments and let us know. And if you're on the rebroadcast, we might just be able to convince Mist to swim back in and answer more questions later on if you've got something really great that we don't answer while we're live on air. So we definitely want to hear from you today. And Mist, I know that you not only work as a performer, but you have developed your own mermaid pod. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I'm one of the founding members of the Long Island Mermaid Pod. Though I'm not the pod leader, I do run the social media for the account. So a few years ago, a friend of mine, the Long Island cosplay community is actually a pretty tight-knit place. And a friend of mine commented on Facebook, "Hey, are there any merfolk out there that have tails that would like to swim?" And I looked at my sister, Mermaid Kalis, and we're like, "We have tails and would like to swim? Sure." So what began as like a little fluke. Sorry, that was
I was waiting for that.
What started as like a fluke, fun, one-off thing went from 5 members to I believe we have 65 and counting. And this summer, we were interviewed by Newsday, our big Long Island newspaper, and we had a huge 7-page spread in the paper about what we do as hobbyists and performers. There was a big spread on what Spoonful does specifically at the aquarium as well, because while the Spoonful Performing Pod is part of the Long Island Mermaid Pod, we are professional performers. So we go swim and do everything as hobbyists, but we perform as professionals. But it was really nice to just be able to tell everybody about what we do for fun, and the outreach that happened after that. So many people were so interested in joining and learning about what the hobby was all about. So we're constantly accepting new members, and we had a release party in August, the weekend after the story came out, and we had our hugest mermaid meet ever. I think it was something like 17 people coming all at once, and we had snacks. It was a potluck. It was a lot of fun. So just knowing that there's a whole supportive community of MERS, like we're not accepting kids yet because we're all grown-ups, but MERS of all ages, all walks of life, 18 and up. We have people from all over the island. We have people coming from Westchester and Pennsylvania sometimes to visit. It's so much fun to be a part of this and to see how it's grown exponentially and how we've developed like this whole kind of aura, I don't know, this mystique about what we do. It's a lot of fun. I can't say that I thought this would ever happen to our little pod, but now here we are.
Hey, listen, I'm from Pennsylvania. I might have to come hang out. Just saying.
Come visit. Our pod leader, Mermaid Aria, just went down to Dutch Springs for the last spring with the Pennsylvania pod, and she had a blast. So we'd love to have you, absolutely.
There's a Pennsylvania pod? Oh, I need to learn.
Is Mermaid Becca, who was at the Fin Fun party, is part of that. So I'll send you her way later.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, we're learning so much here at Mer Week. I am so excited. This is amazing. For those of you who are here from the book world and you are just learning about the mermaid community, make sure you hit up all of these interviews because these amazing mermaids and mermen are teaching us so many cool things. I didn't know there was a pod around here, but you better believe I'm going to be checking this out now. So raise your hands if you are excited to learn more about mermaids. Megan is in the comments, and she would like to know, what's the heaviest tail that you own?
The heaviest tail that I own is definitely my mythic tail. She clocks in dry at about 23 pounds. In the water, she's great. She moves like a dream. The shooter monofin that's inside is fantastic, and it's terrific. After a while of wearing it, you start to get a little bit tired, but you don't really feel it so much. It's when you take it out of the water and you have to hurry before any humans see you that it's like, why is this so heavy? I just got a Finfolk fabric tail. I haven't swum in it yet because I don't have a spare monofin for it, but having swum in a fabric tail in an emergency at the aquarium, the first gen, I was like, oh no, this fluke ballooned up with water and it's pouring rain. What am I going to do? So that was an experience. So hopefully with the new gen, with the drainage holes, it's not going to be as heavy in the water.
That would be amazing for sure. Yikes. Wow. All right, if you have questions, we are getting toward the end of our broadcast today, but we still want to make sure we get in as many as possible. So we are going to be wrapping up in the next couple of minutes, but if you still have questions, if you still have comments, leave us a little love down in those comments below. And even if you're watching our replay, we still want to hear from you. We will be monitoring these comments. We want to make sure that we get everything covered. So let us know what you have questions on, and we will be keeping our eye out for your questions over the next couple of days. And speaking of fun things that we can be doing while we're here hanging out on air, I may or may not have a couple of extra things for you today. I'm very excited for this. I actually hinted just a little bit to Mist earlier, but she doesn't know about all of them yet. So we are going to let you guys know that because we are celebrating the release of the Siren Wars Saga, Selena's complete first trilogy inside of the Siren Wars Saga, we are going to be maybe giving away the first book for free. That's all I'm saying. So if you are interested in learning what happens when the sirens drag the mermaids into a war with the humans, you can actually go to sirenwarsinfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com and you can get the ebook copy of this on any platform for free right now to see if this is a good fit for you. And then if you absolutely love it, you can pre-order the entire box set omnibus. It's gigantic. And it has all 3 books, The Siren Wars, Darker Depths, and Beyond the Shores, plus an exclusive bonus prequel novella from everyone's favorite brooding merman, Merrick. And we get to see what happens before this part of the story takes place. You can pre-order that by going to Siren Wars Selena Info. .k.m.robinsonbooks.com, and you can get your hands on a copy of that next Tuesday. Yes, you can. And remember, the more you're commenting, the more love you're leaving us, the more likely you are to win one of our prize packs, because I may or may not have just taken a trip to the ocean, and I may or may not have purchased all sorts of amazing beachy trinkets for you guys, and I'm giving out prize packs for anyone joining us live. This will be running all week long, so even if you're on a rebroadcast, you still have the opportunity to participate. And because I love giving you more fun things to do, you can also play a little game to determine if you are a siren or a mermaid. And then once you read the book, you can determine if that's an accurate representation of you or not. So if you'd love to play this game, you can actually type in, hang on, it's down on my bottom of my screen. There we go. Type Mermaid Siren Quiz into those comments below, and it's going to pop up in your direct message inbox that you can play through a choose your own adventure game to determine if you are a mermaid or a siren, and then let us know if you ended up as a mermaid or a siren. Mist, we already know that you're an incredible mermaid. I already know what you would get if you would play this quiz, but let's just pretend that we don't know. Okay. Do you think you'd end up as a siren or a mermaid?
Ooh, I actually am working on like a darker kind of siren persona as well, so I don't know. It depends.
I think you're so bubbly that you would probably end up as a mermaid, but I love the darkness of the sirens, and I'm dying to see what you're doing with this new persona.
Ooh, I have a really cool tale from Suntails, and it's called the Sea Monster Tale, and it's black and gold and has all these green spots on it, and I'm like, well, Mist is a little too happy-go-lucky for this one, so why not just kind of create something new?
I love that. When we get off air, I need to see pictures of this, and I need to hear all about this new persona of yours.
You got it.
The best thing about live broadcasting like this is that I can say things on air, and we can hint things, and we can tease things, and then when we get off air, I get all the details. It's amazing.
And then you don't have to share it with anybody else.
Exactly. Exactly. I know so much from my author friends and from the different people that I'm interviewing that I can't tell people. And I love having all the secrets.
That's why your spell is so big. It's full of secrets.
Yes. Kirsten is in the comments, and she says, which advice would you give to someone who wants to become a mer themselves?
So the first thing that I would say is go for it. I would do as much research as possible, because a tale tells you a lot about a mer, just like the color, the shape of the fluke, the length of the fluke, where it hits. So look at pretty pictures. Even if you're going for something like a commercially made fabric tale, there will often be something out there for everyone that just strikes you and just getting inspiration from looking on Instagram or YouTube, that's a great first step. Once you figure out what kind of brand you're going for, get the monofin and practice in it. So the fin fun, I know I'm branding, but this is actually how I feel about this. My first tail was a fin fun tail, and my first monofin was the fin fun monofin. So definitely practice in just the monofin first, and get a feel for how you move, and go about it safely. But once you get the hang of swimming like a mermaid or a merman, just go for it. Find a group of people like the Long Island Mermaid Pod who have the same kind of connection to the water or to the mythology of mermaids, and just have a lot of fun. This hobby is so creative. So many people make their own tails, they make their own accessories. I made my own shell top and my headdress, and it's very collaborative too. There are lone mers that I'm sure, but a mermaid thrives in a pod. So finding that kind of community is a great bouncing off point for ideas and creating a story, or just, getting together and having fun. Shooting the waves, I guess, with another person. So if this is something you really, really want to do, just go for it.
Amazing advice. And you actually mentioned your headpieces that you've created. I'm a little bit jealous about how gorgeous your hairpieces are. Just tell me everything I need to know about them.
Sure. I have them. So I've got a birthday party tomorrow. So these are made of a backing of felt, actually. So there's several layers of felt sewn together for stability with an alligator clip E6000 on there. If you couldn't tell, it's really rusted because metal rusts in salt water. During the off season, I have to replace them. But I use E6000, which is a really dangerous glue, to attach everything. Make sure that you're outside and wearing gloves and probably a mask. I don't use the mask, but wear gloves because it's bad for you. And then I designed a whole bunch of shells that just go on top. And then I added this fishnet veil. It used to have more pearls on them, but kids grab it then. So I attached the veil so it sits kind of romantically on the sides of my head. These clip in at my temples. And then I put a circlet on across my forehead. So it's a whole bunch of different pieces. But I made these myself, and I really like how they look in pictures. They're kind of nautical and kind of like found, like, how barnacles attach to things. I wanted it to look like these shells just kind of found their way into Mist's hair, and she liked it so much that she just left it.
I love that. I love the backstory of it too. I have been staring at your photos since you and I met, and I just adore the netting and the shells, and it's just, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how much I love it and how jealous I am.
You want me to make you a pair?
Yes.
I will make you a pair.
Oh, I love you. This is the benefits of hanging out with mermaids, guys. They're so generous. All right. We are just about to wrap up with Mist today. We have had a great conversation despite our technical difficulties. Sorry, guys. We're apologizing for that, but we had so much fun. It has been so wonderful. If you still have questions and comments, we will be checking those down in the comments below. But we do need to say goodbye. Mist needs to swim off. We've got lots of things to do today. So before I give you the rest of the information on Mer Week, because guys, we are doing so many things between right now and the release of the Siren Wars Saga box set omnibus. Before we get into the details on when you need to join us tomorrow for all 3 events tomorrow, there's a bunch tomorrow, make sure that you leave a little love for Mist down in those comments. Mist, any last thoughts for our viewers before I ask you to give your social media?
Sure. I really think that the Mer community is a great place, and I think we can do so much more to make it an even better place. So for all those tail brand companies out there, make sure that you're, showing your love for mers of all different sizes, not just like cute, skinny, white female mermaids. Merfolk come in all sizes and genders and colors, so make sure that if you are an underrepresented mer, you put yourself out there and you shine, because there are people here who will support you, because you're just as part of the mer community as everybody else, and you deserve to have your day warm on the sand too.
Perfect. And well said as well. Let us know where we can find you on social media.
Sure thing. You can find me on Facebook at Mist the Mermaid, on Instagram at Mist the Mermaid, and for cosplay and theater and other fun stuff, my YouTube channel has some mermaid and cosplay stuff there. You can find me at Fairwind Cosplay as well. I do a lot of singing and tail showing off and, silly little cosplay work logs and other things like that. So if you'd like to check it out, I tend to be a very creative person, and I love to see what everyone else is working on as well. So make sure to come give me a visit, and I'd be happy to give you a visit too.
Perfect. And just FYI, Mist is very, very social. She's very, very good at responding to people. So if you've got more questions, if you just want to go hang out, if you want to see her gorgeous headpieces and those amazing tails and her amazing spirit, go hang out with her on social media. You will not regret it. Mist, thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here. And I can't wait to get all these secrets behind the scenes when we get off air. But before we get there...
It was such a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to your grotto. I had a great time.
Thank you. And I love that you call this a grotto, too. That makes it so much cooler.
Neat. You have shiny things behind you.
Yes, I do. So many shiny things. All right. If you have been enjoying Mer Week 2018, I have so much for you. We've got some incredible things coming up over the next couple of days, and I hope that tomorrow you will actually join me at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because Israela, the Abyssal Mermaid, will be joining us. I actually had the opportunity to meet her a few months ago, at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and she is an absolute doll. We've been doing so much. She's part of the Circus Siren Pod, and she will be joining us tomorrow to hang out and chat. We will also be joined by, we will be joined by Merman Tommy tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's got a lot of fun things going on, and we cannot wait to hang out with him as well. If you have not seen him on social media, you need to. And we're going to be chilling tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be hanging out with the Circus Siren Pod live from the Carolina Renaissance Fair. They are going to be inside of their incredible 9-foot travel tank, and they will be performing tricks for us and hanging out and showing us kind of the behind the scenes of what it's like to work at the Ren Fair. So we're incredibly excited. So much going on. And then on Sunday, we actually have our Mermaid Seashell Crown event. I am looking for my words. There we go. Nope, that's not even the one. We're going to be making shell crowns. There it is. At 3 p.m. on Sunday, we will be doing step-by-step every single step that you need to create a seashell crown to wear and be your own mermaid. I'm excited for it. It's going to be so much fun. We have author Annie Sullivan joining us. She is the author of A Touch of Gold, which happens to have mermaids in it, and Katja, the Siren Serpent. Wow, I can't read today. Apologies, guys. We're going to be hanging out with Katja, the Siren Serpent, which shouldn't be as hard for me. Serpent Siren. I really can't. I can't read today. It's okay. Siren Wars Saga. All good. I should know that word. And so I hope you will come hang out for that. It's going to be super fun, and you can learn how to make shell crowns for under $5. If you need info on what you're going to need for that, you're going to want to visit merweek.k.m.robinsonbooks.com for a list of things that you can get for under $5 to come make these shell crowns with us. And then you can join me on Tuesday, October 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the box set launch party. We'll be doing games. We'll be doing giveaways. There will be party prizes and party gifts for everyone. And we're going to be doing so many fun things during this broadcast. If you guys have seen my book launch parties before, they are all kinds of fun, and I would love to have you join us. And we will be joined by special guest Mermaid Tasha as well. We're going to have a great time as we continue Mer Week 2018, and I would love for you guys to join us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. As always, I am K.m. Robinson, author of the Siren Wars Saga, the Golden Trilogy, the Jaded Duology, the Legends Chronicles, Virtually Sleeping Beauty, and about 20 other books that I did not mention. You can come hang out with me at k.m.robinsonbooks.com, where we have world portals for all of our different stories. There's behind the scenes, there's video, there's artwork, there's fan art, just so much good stuff over there. And you can hit me up at k.m.robinsonbooks on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and over on YouTube and on our IGTV channel. So make sure you come hang out. I love hearing from you guys. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, if you want free books, hang out with me, because I have like 6 free books out right now, and you guys are going to love them. So come hang out and join me again for Mer Week 2018 tomorrow. 3 different events, and we are going to have just the best time. We will see you guys later. Until then, stay inspired. Bye-bye.